Alright, so you look at your abilities. There's a couple you'll need, and they'll make this a lot easier for you. Specifically, the ones we're looking for is Second Chance and Leaf Bracer. Second Chance means you keep an HP after you take a critical hit. Leaf Bracer lets you heal even if you're being hit. Ars Arcanum is really good for getting through a lot of his attacks, and so is Ragnarok. As far as Keyblades go, if you have the ultimate weapon, which it's very difficult to get, you probably don't, I'd use Oblivion or Divine Rose. Both of them are very good. They're just a little short. And then just try to equip the best rings you have. HP and AP is what you want to focus on. Same with Donald and Goofy, even though they're not really help. I would stack them with items too. I'm not going to, but I would definitely stack them with items just to make things easier. This first guy is pretty easy. Or, well, the first form. Those are easy to dodge roll, and you can also use guard. It's a little trickier, but you can. And here's where Ars Arcanum comes in play. Even when the Guardian's in front of them, you can still hit him with that. And it deals a lot of damage. You just have to be careful because it uses, I want to say, 2 or 3 MP each time. And then I know people like to say just mash X, but at a certain point they're right. And this is where you can use Ars Arcanum to get around it, or Ragnarok rather. Still dealing lots of damage. And then just watch out for that move, because I'm sure you know what happens when it hits you. Anytime you try to attack for a time being, you'll pretty much be held back by that Guardian. Again, just pop through it with Ragnarok. And that's almost a bar of health right there. And then something else that a lot of people don't know is if you're locked onto a target, and you see how Donald and Goofy are just sitting around doing just literally nothing. If you hit triangle, that'll sick them onto the enemy that you're targeting. They become a little more useful. First phase down. And then follow into the next phase, but Donald and Goofy can't come with. I mean, you fought at least 2 or 3 of these during the game. It's all the same movesets. He just deals more damage. Really just watch out for the falling energy balls once he summons those with this. And then the best time to get your hits in are when he slams his fist into the ground and starts summoning all the shadows. You just gotta watch out for the shadows. Normally, though, if you have a decent enough Keyblade and it's long enough, it'll just kind of whack those as you're hitting his hand. Kind of like this. And it's a little easier sometimes to do combos in the air, because it gets you off the ground, and I feel like your air combos are a little quicker too. And like I said, he's pretty easy. It's a repeat of pretty much the last fight, or the first form. Just a couple things changed up. And he definitely deals a little bit more damage here. You can still use Ragnarok to get through that Guardian. Watch out for the submit. This is what happens when you whiff it like I do. Yeah. So annoying. And then you really just dodge roll through those. They'll even hit you, but in these types of games, there's something that they call iframes. It stands for immortality frames. Essentially, there's certain frames that your player character has that it literally physically can't take damage while it's doing it, and dodge rolling is one of those in most cases. Another dodge roll, you just want to wait until he's about to pop out of the ground and dodge roll. And you do this, I don't know, maybe 7-8 times, something like that, and then he's going to shoot a big blast out from himself. Again, dodge roll, use those iframes. I ain't afraid to use potions. Your progress doesn't save after this fight, so use everything, because it doesn't matter. You just want to beat him. Again, just roll through that strike. He does another thing, and I think I've killed him too fast for him to do it. But he'll do another thing where he charges back and forth across the arena at you. There's two ways to really handle that. You can either dodge roll, and I think that would be the easier, but you can also use guard. It's just a lot trickier. But if you are pretty quick with it, he won't even go into that attack mode. This one, always arrow if you don't already have it equipped. I should have mentioned that at the beginning, but arrow is great in this case because he's going to summon all these different lasers. There's really not anything you can do about it. You're going to waste time flying around dodging them, and so it's easier just to pop on arrow. Arrow not only protects you from the lasers, they deal a lot less damage as you can see, but it's also going to damage Ansem as you're hitting him. It does cost a fair bit, so just keep an eye on your magic and don't be afraid to use items. This is also where Leaf Bracer comes into play, because all these lasers are popping off, they almost stun lock you to an extent, and so using Leaf Bracer to heal even through the lasers, like here, because I was just getting stun locked, you just got to do it sometimes. I'd say if you're getting stun locked too bad, back off and then go back. And you can kind of just sit behind him and just keep whacking him, and it makes it pretty darn easy. This guy's a couple different phases though. He's gonna tuck himself back up in there and rest, and then you're gonna have to find both of your friends. Take out all these shadows. This should be pretty easy. Thunder works really well with this many enemies if you want to clear them out really quick. Just be cautious of the magic use. This is a good time to use items too, because these guys aren't very aggressive. And then just hit this thing in the middle. You'll have to do this sort of deal a couple times to free both of your friends. Now you just want to beat up all these little wiener things that shoot lasers, and then once you do, the portal that's floating there will become accessible. Just watch out for the lasers there, and use arrow if you need to, but those things are pretty much just one-shots. These are the big dark balls, I think they're called, or just dark balls, not big dark balls. But thunder is really, really helpful here because you can barely see the guys other than their eyes, and they really blend in with the environment if they're not facing you. And it's kind of hard to judge your distance between them just because it's so dark. So thunder really, really helps. Now we got Goofy back.
Heal.
Now we gotta fight another part of the weird, crazy, fleshy ship thing that we're fighting. And it's the head. Just lock onto the forehead and start swinging at it. Arrow is going to help again because of the lasers, just like this. And he also will charge up energy, and you can kind of see him doing that here in a minute. And when he does that, he's going to start shooting thunder down from the ground, or up from the sky, and it's really going to melt your health, so Arrow is helpful. And triangle, I forgot to press, but Goofy's literally just standing there not even attacking, so if you hit triangle, it forces him to attack and be useful. I'm just not pressing it for whatever reason. Useless. Just useless. But there's that energy burst I'm talking about. Just finish him up. And then the face is going to blow up and allow you to access a portal. Don't even bother with those things, just dodge them. And go straight into the mouth. These guys are much annoying. These are much more annoying than the last ones. Thunder helps. You could also use Ragnarok, that really helps too. Just try to beat them as quick as possible because these guys, like I said, are really annoying when they place their sword down and are pretty much invincible while they curse you. But beat this thing, and now you'll be able to fight Ansem again, but you'll have Goofy and Donald to help you out. But before we fight Ansem directly again, we've got one last thing to do. And just to ignore the lasers, ignore all the weird little weenie things, and go straight for that goofy purple heart thing. Lock onto it, and it's super easy to melt. Arrow if you really need to use it here, but oftentimes just swinging will deflect those projectiles, and you can see they don't deal too much damage. And I mean, honestly, if it's causing you problems too, you could take out all those little laser shooter things. They just spawn back, so I don't feel like it's worth wasting the time. And now it's Ansem for the final time. Use Arrow. He's going to really use the lasers again too, but he targets you more with them. And really, the hardest part about this fight is the lasers and being stun locked by them. There's another part, and you'll see it here shortly, where he starts shooting at a bunch of random lasers that kind of heat track you. Like this. Arrow is imperative here, because otherwise you're just going to get melted. And you don't want to fly into the source of them like I did. Oftentimes you can just get behind. And then Arrow again. You can try to get behind him. Don't be afraid to use items. And look out for those energy balls behind, because those will kind of blow up as he's using the one in his mouth. Really, that's all there is to it. Nothing fancy. Arrow, I think, is the game changer for you. And Leaf Bracer if you don't already have it. And that's it.